Hello everyone, thank you for tuning in. This is going to be the most important video I ever released because I'm going to talk about market bubbles and what we're about to see with Bitcoin very soon and why I think we're not even close to topping out right now. First of all, it looks like Cycle is going to cross sometime this week. In my last video, I explained why I'm not looking to sell at this Cycle cross. I'm pretty confident this cross is going to be a false signal. Maybe we sell off a little, but that would just be a buying opportunity in my opinion. Now, the only reason I was looking at Cycle in my first video is because I thought this indicator was built from RHODL ratios, but it's actually not. The Cycle is just two moving averages that were built to intersect at the previous highs. Maybe this indicator becomes relevant later, maybe it crosses again in a few months when RHODL is in the selling zone, and if that happens, then I will be paying attention, but none of us should be looking to sell any amount of Bitcoin at this time, and I'm going to explain why. We're going to take a look at a few different charts. First, let's take a look at the stock to flow model. This has been the most accurate model for Bitcoin in terms of how the price moves, and it's also the most widely used chart for Bitcoin investors. As you can see, when the dots are blue, it's a good time to buy, and when the dots start turning green, it's a good time to think about selling. This isn't the chart that I will be using as my primary sell indicator, that is the R-HODL, but it is something that I want to watch. The red line represents the fair market valuation for the price of Bitcoin, and if we zoom in and take a look at the price right now, what is the fair market evaluation? Well, you'll see as of today, it's at 59,000. Isn't it just crazy how accurate that is? Because right now, at the time of making this video, the price of Bitcoin is at 58,000. If we zoom out again on stock to flow, we can see in 2013 and 2017 that the price of Bitcoin exceeded the fair market valuation in a pretty big way. This seems to happen at the end of every market bubble as we reach peak euphoria. And speaking of market bubbles, let's talk about this for a moment. This is a very popular chart for investors. This is typically what happens with human psychology during a market bubble. We have takeoff, first sell off, the bears sell out, then the price goes up, it gains media attention and enthusiasm, then we enter a mania phase where we have greed, delusion, and the new paradigm. Like things are different now, it's going much higher. This is when people lose their sense of reality and they buy at the very top. This is exactly what happened in the year 2000 when we had the tech bubble. We can see that here, right? All of the stages. Now, I'm going to draw the same structure over Bitcoin in 2017. Again, all of the stages playing out here. You'll notice that the last three stages happen a lot quicker than the previous stages, and that's because people start getting more emotional. The greed, delusion, the new paradigm that occurs over the next few months. This is going to happen again and again. When these stages start to unfold, we're going to know it. Trust me, it's going to be very obvious, and we're going to see this coming. All right, so why am I showing you this? Well, here is my interpretation of where we're at in the 2021 bubble for Bitcoin. Yes, I believe we are in the beginning stages of enthusiasm. And if you think people are enthusiastic or greedy right now, just wait, you haven't seen anything. Just look at the Google searches for Bitcoin. You'll notice that they aren't even close to matching the hype levels that we saw in 2017. And I expect the Google searches this year to be about 2 or 3 times larger than it was in 2017 when we reach peak euphoria. So anyways, back to stock to flow, you'll see that when we surpass the fair market valuation for Bitcoin, that means we are starting to enter the mania phase of the market bubble. The mania phase has not even started yet. We're still trading at fair market valuation. Now, let's take a look at the price of Bitcoin after the halvings. I shared this on a previous video. The purple line is the 2013 bubble, the green line is the 2017 bubble, the orange line is an average between the two, and the blue line is 2021. Now, this helps us keep the price in perspective in relation to what has happened in the previous cycles. We're currently at 327 days after the halving. In 2013, we didn't top out until around 365 days after the halving. In 2017, we topped out at around 525 days. This cycle is more similar to the 2017 cycle, although I believe we are in an accelerated cycle this year. This is why I think the top of this cycle is going to be somewhere in between the last two cycles. Now, let's take a look at this. I also shared this image in my last video. This is the percentage of Bitcoins held on exchanges. I don't have the updated image, but I have seen recently that the percentage continues to decrease as of today. This is a bullish indication because it means investors are not planning to sell anytime soon. Before we start looking out for a sell signal, we need to start seeing the percentage of Bitcoins on exchanges rise, but we're not seeing that yet. Now, finally, let's take a quick look at the Bitcoin chart. We broke out of the bullish flag pattern that I was watching, and I was looking for the price to stay above the solid blue trend line. We broke down from that yesterday, so I cloned that trend line and moved it down because we do have trend line support and horizontal support somewhere between 55 and 56K. I personally added more to my position here at 56,000. I think we're going to see the next leg up to 80,000 sometime this month, and I think that is going to kick off the beginning of the mania phase of this bubble. So in summary, I believe we're headed much higher for Bitcoin, and we're not even close to a top right now. We have not even started the mania phase. So that's it for me. I hope I earned your thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next video.